Joe Budden snubs Emanny by doing a commercial that he isn't even included in. That's right, y'all. Joe Budden made a major move, and I think it is a big win for the Joe Budden podcast, as he has ordered a TV buy, a commercial, to be played all over the country.
How would I describe myself? I'm a lunatic. Right?
He's been caught cheating before.
He wants a clean house. He wants his laundry.
We have a housekeeper, Julia.
Way too much touch.
I like that.
Did he show you the handshake yet? Stupid. Amateur hour over here. I don't want to look at him.
You wear shirts and hoodies in the pool. So? You don't talk to me again about bodies.
Wear the hoodie in the pool. You say a lot of tricky words.
No, I don't. I say regular words that's tricky to you.
Now it's time for my favorite part of the show.
That's right, y'all. Today, well, probably a day or so ago if you're watching this now, Joe and the Joe Budden Network, Ian, they ordered a TV buy, a commercial, to highlight the Joe Budden Network. Now, this is very interesting as people saw it air on ESPN's First Take, but what this appears to be is a multinational type buy that you will be seeing all over the country on many different channels, and it represents a big brand building effort for the show, unlike anything we've ever seen in the field of podcasting. Yes, that's right. Spotify didn't have a commercial for Rogan. iHeart doesn't have a commercial for Charlemagne, but there's a commercial for the Joe Budden Network. Still, we got to get to the messy part. This commercial revealed the infrastructure of the JPN. It revealed the hierarchy. It put the nail in the coffin for a lot of people's legacy in terms of the show, and we have to get into it. First of all, Emanny was left out of this commercial, like completely out of it. He was not in one single frame. And I gotta tell you, it is indicative of his standing on the Joe Budden podcast, as he just keeps getting snubbed. Once again, this is but yet another addition to Emanny not being highlighted on the show. First, there was the New York Times article that didn't even mention Emanny. Then there was the Rolling Stones article that didn't even mention Emanny. Then there's the intro to the show that didn't even mention Emanny. And now there's the commercial that has no type of reference to Emanny. And I think it's a bit unfair because there's other people on the show who don't pod as good as him, like Ice, who are being included. And now I'm starting to wonder, is this personal? I myself developed a theory, and I know people are going to tell me I'm crazy. I firmly believe that Emanny did something to betray Joe Budden's trust. As a result, Joe Budden no longer cares about putting Emanny front-facing on his network. Now, whether that thing that he did to betray his trust was by hooking up with Melissa Ford, allegedly punching back Woody, or revealing some information about Joe to his ops, I have no clue. Still, this much ignoring, this much basically you don't matter, whether it be intentional or subconscious, is a red flag if I'm Emanny. I still think Emanny should stay on the show and continue to get his money and also grow his brand, which is what he's doing. But oh boy, this is just a bad look. Basically, everybody on the show can celebrate how they are on the show. Their parents, their children, their family can see them. And you're not going to be able to participate in that. You're not going to be able to participate in anything. Everybody else on the show can say, I was in the New York Times, I was in the Rolling Stones, I was on the TV show. But you cannot say that at all. And let me know in the comments if you think that was disrespectful. As for the rest of the commercial, you saw how important Mark Lamont Hill is to the foundation of the Joe Budden podcast. He was featured throughout them 30 seconds, shown a lot, and referenced throughout. I mean, he was the Ian and Mark show, him arguing with Flip, him just being present, whereas other members, not so much. Ice wasn't really featured to a great extent. That makes sense because he's more of a connecting character, more of a B-side member. But even Ish got spotlighted a little bit. But Flip, man, I was watching this and I was like, man, What a fall from grace that Flip has just went through. This guy was supposed to be the man that was featured all over this commercial. He would have been perfect for this spot, but he did not get it. And it's crazy to see somebody just fumble. Now, I don't want to disrespect because maybe Flip didn't want that spot. But improper improv was supposed to be a part of this. It was supposed to be featured in this commercial. And if Flip had continued to do improper improv, you would have seen it in this commercial, but it wasn't featured at all. And I don't think that is for no reason. I think the podcast has put Flip in a position where if Flip doesn't appear in a piece of content, it's not questioned. It's like, all right, it's cool. We'll be fine. It'll be all right. The show doesn't need him. And that's where he's at right now. Even though Flip was featured, it wasn't as prominent as it should have been. This is the guy that they said boosted views, boosted Patreon subscriptions, but it did not reflect that. Speaking of Patreon, the commercial tells people to go to JoeBuddenNetwork.com. Now, it hyperlinks to the Patreon for Joe Budden. So could this have been influenced by Patreon? I don't know. I don't think so. Once again, I believe this was independent and done by the likes of Ian Schwartzman, with maybe Joe Budden thinking it was a good move. And we'll have to see. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I think this is a very, 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 very big deal. And I know a lot of people are going to hate on it. And I would be down to hate on it. You know me. I am not above hating on something. But I thought this was dope. I'm one of those people that believes in the value of legacy media, even as it loses some of its allure, some of its viewership, some of its listenership. I think TV matters. I think radio matters. I think newspapers matter. It's only because of the creation of new media we have devalued the old. But trust me, people are going to be looking at the Joe Budden podcast a lot different now, simply because it has integrated itself in legacy media. Man, you got to realize, Charlemagne don't have a commercial. Charlemagne had his own TV show, and that got a commercial. But there's no Breakfast Club commercial that I see on TV. I don't see Charlemagne promoting his most successful properties. It's always stuff that gets canceled. Joe found a way to trick the game and highlight what he does well, and it's something that won't ever get canceled because he owns the show. Now, as for the rest of it, oh boy, I know Emanny's upset. I know Emanny's heartbroken. He's emotional. That shit is like alliteration. You know, in the book where the character is named after something that they actually are, isn't it crazy that Emanny's name is Emanny and it so closely resembles emotion? Because he's emotional. You couldn't have written that any better. Like, I'm sorry, Shakespeare couldn't have written that. But let me know what you think. I feel like in the comments, I'm going to see a mix of haters. I'm going to see a mix of people saying, this was great. This is going to change podcasting forever. I'm going to see a bunch of people saying this don't mean nothing at all. And I'm curious because I want to do the dialogue, and I think it's something that is going to be emulated by a lot of people. Because other people have money too. They could have done this thing, but they didn't do it. And it was only Joe that pulled the trigger. And I have to applaud the infrastructure of the Joe Budden Network for doing it and doing it flawlessly, because it's all over my timeline. And Joe Budden would post it on his Instagram. All right, y'all, that's my video for now. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, The Stop TV. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, The Stop TV. Make sure you follow me on Patreon. This is Danny from The Stop. Peace.